and he rolls for a total of 24.
The doors shake mightily, and some of Wintier's thieves' tools get bent and warped.
Crap.
Good job.
Those were my lucky
partially
tools.
broken thieves' tools.
That's what you get for being a bastard with my tools.
Autumn.
Wait, does that mean I have to pick up my goddamn tools again?
Yes.
And are his bent tools still sitting in the friggin'...
Yes.
So there's no way in hell I can actually pick the lock this turn without spending an action point.
Minor action to pull out his broken tools, minor action to pick yours up, standard action to pick the lock.
Alright.
Do you throw them in his face? Like he did to you?
Like, too tired to care at the moment. Right.
So where does she put them?
I take his stupid bent tools and throw them across the room. And I'm gonna attempt to pick this friggin' door again.
Just try picturing how silly this scene is.
Oh, for
FFS.
I hate dice so much. Total of 14. My ass.
Autumn fails to pick the lock. Round 4, Wintier.
I fear for my tools a lot.
Winter uses Autumn's thieves' tools to try and pick the lock.
And then throws them in her face.
Watch this,
Seriously,
Coltaine. I got this. And he rolls for a total of 20, failing. And then takes the thieves' tools out and holds onto them very tightly.
Why?
Or you could do the smart thing and hand them to me.
No, yeah, okay.
Or you could have just left them there?
No, because
No.
Rekoj might kick on the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, we're thinking here.
You can make Rekoj stop kicking the door.
Rekoj wouldn't
Does
stop
that really
kicking the
sound
door.
like wreckage to think about something?
Also, I don't know if you guys have been factoring this in. I've been assuming you have been, because it's up to you guys to think of these things, but you get a +2 bonus if you use thieves' tools. I hope you've been adding that.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
So I'd be getting a +1, he'd get a +2. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Coltaine.
In my
Coltaine
defense, I've never
size.
picked anything before.
So
Coltaine.
Coltaine points out that we're not using them right.
Hey, you're the thunder thief, not me.
Coltaine says, I don't know about you guys, but shouldn't you be using the other ends? And then, he steps to the side and says, might want to get out of the way, Zook, just in case Rekoj does knock the door down.
I just want you to know
Zook.
I hate you for that comment.
Zook chuckles and says, well, at least it's not my bad luck today. And then he, moves over to the west.
Rekoj, still at 29 out of 52.
Slightly curious as to why he hasn't been smacked again. Rekoj kicks at the door. Rolling for a total of 22.
The door does not want to give way.
But Rekoj is very persistent.
You know what'll happen?
Autumn.
We'll pick the door open and then he'll kick it.
Kick Autumn right in the face.
So I have my tools in hand, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm gonna attempt to pick the damn thing.
Well, technically Winter is still holding on to them. So you'd have to ask him nicely.
Can I have my tools, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, now I'm gonna pick them. Pick the stupid...
Aw, collaboration.
It's a fair competition.
Total of 23.
Autumn still does not manage to pick the lock.
It's all yours.
Round 5, Wintier.
Now knowing how to properly use the thieves' tools, he botches the job, rolling a 13.
He gets cocky.
And then he takes them out.
Coltaine.
I think I'll give my 20 silver to Rekoj if he knocks the door down before either of them gets it open.
Zook.
Zook just looks at the ground and scratches on the floor.
Rekoj.
Rekoj kicks at the door. Rolling a 22. Total of.
This door seems to be pretty strong because it is not giving way. Autumn.
Right. Tools, please. Hey.
Winter
My
gives
tools.
Autumn the tools.
Thank you. Okay. Right. Let's try to pick this bad boy. Stupid freaking Total of 27.
As Autumn works at the lock, you hear the bolt slide out of place.
Now, I'm definitely taking my tools out of the door so they don't get broken. And I don't think I can actually do anything else, can I?
You can put your tools away.
Well, besides that, I mean, but besides taking them out and putting them away.
You've got a move action left?
No, because I got him to hand me the tool.
That's a free action.
Oh, it's free. Okay, even better. Because
Well, you don't want to be there when Rekoj kicks the door down, do you?
yeah, I can open the door though. That's like what?
Maybe you should just move aside and let him kick it now that it's unlocked.
Yeah, okay, that sounds better.
Yeah, if you just open the door, Rekoj might just kick you in the face.
Yeah, good point. I'm just gonna sidestep away from the door to the right, out of the way, for my own safety.
Just FYI, these doors swing inward into the room that Rekoj is in.
Oh, good. So just gonna kick it and it's gonna fling back at it.
Round 6, Wintier.
So Wintier pretends to try and open the door, then pretends that it's still locked, then pretends to pick the lock, and then opens the door as if he'd unlocked it.
Everyone did hear the bolt slide out of place, though. Does he want to make a bluff check to make the sound of the bolt sliding out of place?
We'll make a bluff check for this, but he pretended that it was still locked and there was like an extra trick mechanism. But yes, I will make a bluff check.
And also, is he going to be picking up the tools that Autumn threw across the room?
We can do that later.
Oh yeah, I forgot I did that.
So he rolls a 9 on his bluff check, pretending that he's the one that actually unlocked the door, and then he opens the door. That's in front of him, which is not the door that is in front of Rekoj.
So Wintier, without any tools, just mimes doing something with the lock, and then says, click, clack, and opens the door.
And he says, I think you owe Coltaine 20 silver, Zook. And then he steps to the side.
Wait, isn't it the other way around?
The Coltaine had his money on Wintier.
Coltaine's up.
Coltaine sighs and looks at Winter with this "you let me down, buddy" kind of look. Tells Zook, "I'll give it to you later." And then steps into the room through the open door to comfort Rekoj.
Inferior leader.
It's okay, buddy. We're here now.
Zook.
Zook approaches, takes a peek in, and walks into the room to the south west of Coltaine.
Rekoj.
Rekoj hugs Coltaine very tightly and sobs
Crushing
a little
him and
bit.
doing 10 damage.
Rekoj was scared of the dark. Big statue hit Rekoj hard.
How do you know it was the statue? It was in the dark.
Actually, it's true. No one other than Rekoj saw the statue, and right now the statue's not moving.
So they might not believe. Should I roll a diplomacy check?
Actually, Rekoj might not even be sure it was a statue.
Well, it came from like the statue's direction. I'm sure as a statue it would make some noise too when swinging.
Yeah, it was making noise, but I mean, as far as he knows, Rekoj was just molested in the dark.
Do you want? Do you want me to roll an intelligence check?
Sure. We'll probably wisdom.
I get a total of 12.
So Rekoj thinks it might be the statue. He's not absolutely sure, but...
So Rekoj says, maybe, possibly, the statue or mean invisible people smacked me in the dark.
Well, they weren't necessarily invisible, right? It was dark.
Well, everything's invisible when it's dark. And because we can't see them now that it's light, right? Right?
Just because someone would be hiding doesn't mean they're invisible.
This is Rekoj you're talking to, alright? Rekoj argues with the voice in his head.
The voice of reason.
Autumn.
Alright, Autumn steps into the room. I don't trust this room at all. Don't know why. Isn't there like some sort of check I can do to see if there's anything, wrong with this room?
You would have to clarify that statement.
Okay. I'm trying to think of that
Because
now.
I'm.
Okay, is there some way I can check to see if there's anything suspicious in this room? Is that better?
Again, you're gonna have to.
I don't even know what to
Please elaborate what you mean.
It's like when
You
you're
know,
playing
I can't
Neverwinter
be
Nights
bothered.
and you just turn on the
I just
button
don't
that lets
care.
you look for stuff.
Are you examining things? I don't understand.
Oh, yes. Examining things, whatever.
Okay, so you're doing a visual inspection. Okay, I didn't understand if you meant like if you're gonna make an Arcana check to see if you know of any magical stuff, or a religion check to see if you know of any deity stuff, or a dungeoneering check to check the structural integrity of the room.
Oh, that's right. I
So
trained in engineering.
So are you just making a perception check to do a visual inspection
Yes.
of the room itself?
Yeah, sure.
Because, you know, after he mentioned the statue, why inspect the statue?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I suppose it'd be smarter to just check this.
Alright, roll it.
I think you should walk right up to the statue and take a close
Oh
look.
no, I'm not walking up to that thing. Oh, really? I got a 6.
And are you examining the statue or the room?
The statue.
Alright, Autumn thinks that the statue is actually some form of giant. Like she thinks she notices it breathing. Seems to be some kind of giant in armor, just trying to keep itself still. This is what you get for rolling a 1.
Yeah, somebody else might want to check that statue then. There's something fishy about it.
Round 7, Wintier.
So Winter walks
perfect
into the
idea.
room,
Zook should light it on fire.
and feeling that he needs to challenge Autumn, he performs a perception check on the statue, saying, "I bet you're wrong."
She didn't say anything. She just thought it was a giant and neglected to tell any of us that she thought there was a living, breathing giant in the middle of the room.
Seriously?
Yeah, it wasn't too important.
Oh man. In that case, I just do a perception check of the room and not the statue.
Alright, so Wintier is making a perception check on the room.
Yes. It rolls a 14 plus 10 equals 42.
So Wintier notices that the dust around the statue seems slightly disturbed.
Winter points out to the group that the dust around the statue is kind of disturbing.
Yes, because that's exactly what you learned from it. It's disturbing.
Coltaine.
Coltaine scoffs at Rekoj's claims that the statue attacked him and ignores Winter's comments about disturbed dust and strides further into the room to get a look at the statue close up.
No! Rekoj loves inferior leader too much. Don't die, inferior leader, Squishy.
Once again, the doors to the north slam shut and bolt locked. The statue articulates, spins around, but Coltaine dodges the immense stone sword. Zook.
Can Zook get an idea of what the range on this thing's sword is, based on its attack on Coltaine? Like, can it reach the walls?
Make a perception check.
Rolls a 2 for a total of 13.
He thinks it can't reach the walls.
Thinks.
So Zook tells everyone, I don't think it can reach the walls. Maybe if we walk along them, we'll be safe. So he steps out and tries walking along the western wall.
And the statue does not swing. Rekoj.
Rekoj thinks it's time to pay back that statue. And he says, "Don't hurt my friend, stupid statue." And he runs forward and attacks it. With...
Actually, the statue is on top of this dais. The statue itself occupies
What's a
these
dais?
these. If Rekoj wants to hit the statue, he has to step up onto one of these squares.
How elevated is this dais? Sorry, dais.
He can climb up onto it.
Dais? Rekoj climbs up onto the dais. Can he still attack, or was that a standard action?
No, it's part of the move.
And he performs, ironically enough, a strength of stone attack.
Well, that's bound to fail.
Rolls for a total of 17 versus AC, 13 damage.
Since it's incredibly difficult to miss a giant, relatively immobile statue, Rekoj hits, but feels himself not dealing as much damage as he thought he could have, because it's a big stone thing. Autumn.
I'm gonna do the same thing Zook's doing and moving along the western. I'm not getting anywhere near that damn thing.
Autumn following Zook. Round 8, Wintier.
Wintier notices which way the statue is facing and decides to go examine the crouching dragons.
And the hidden tigers.
And performs a perception check on the dragons,
Alright.
rolling for a magnificent 17 plus 10, total of 27.
Wintier spots arcane symbols carved into the dragon statue.
And he shouts out, "Hey guys, there are arcane symbols carved into the dragon statues."
Coltaine.
Coltaine looks at Rekoj like he's crazy, realizes that he is sure that Rekoj is crazy, and backs away to the wall before attempting to move down to the far corner, southwest corner.
Coltaine's speed is 5, right?
Yes. Did I move him one too many? I did, didn't I? It's 2 move actions. Yeah, that's right.
The giant warrior swings around once more, striking Rekoj once again.
Big surprise.
14 damage and Rekoj is knocked prone.
Is he knocked,
He's knocked off, yeah.
the...
Rekoj falls off the dais and is bloodied at 18 out of 52.
Man, it's painful to stay in character.
As Wintier approaches the dragon statue, magical energy spews from the mouth of the dragon. He feels himself struck by a powerful force for 9 damage and he's pushed back 15 feet. Wintier at 21. Zook is up.
Alright. Zook has a speed of 6. So he overtakes Coltaine and follows along the southern wall.
You guys really think it's a good idea to just crawl through this incredibly dangerous room to get to the other side without fully understanding what's going on?
Sure.
Well, if we can get through it safely without attacking the statues, it might be worth it. Besides, Zook wants to know what these little cherubs can do, since he's getting the impression all the statues are dangerous.
They're gonna come to life and rape you.
Rekoj, knocked prone, 18 out of 52.
So Rekoj, feeling smart for once, just crawls to the wall and then stands up.
Autumn.
I'm just gonna move towards the southwest corner and end up right behind Zook.
Round 9, Wintier.
Wintier would like to perform an Arcana check on the arcane symbols on the dragons.
Roll it.
And he rolls it for a total of 21. That's a 20 plus 1, I might add.
So Wintier confirms what he's just observed through experience, that the arcane symbols on the dragon statue allow it to breathe blasts of force.
Hey guys! The arcane symbols on these dragons allow it to breathe blasts of force. Just thought you'd want to know. I checked that out with my arcane knowledge.
Okay, genius. Is there any way to deal with it then?
I assume we undo the symbols.
fun with that.
Coltaine.
Coltaine calls out to Winter. Yes, Winter, very good. We already noticed that they can blast you with magic. Do you want to, try running into these cherub statues for us and telling us where you can find out about them as well?
The point is, Coltaine, that I recognize the symbols. It's not just random damage. You
recognized them after they blasted you. It wasn't very helpful.
But I recognize that the symbols are the reason that I'm being blasted.
I'm sure that's important in your little philosophical life.
What's important is that we can have a very big discussion in 6 seconds.
Absolutely. And Coltaine moves towards the entranceway to the south and stands directly to the north of one of the cherub statues. Cherubic statues.
Zook.
Zook, following Coltaine's lead, does more than just stand directly above them, but goes and steps between them. And figures maybe that's not the best idea. So he continues on into a apparent puddle of water near a door.
Don't just jump in any puddle you see. That's because Rekoj isn't close enough to be a leader.
So Zook, as he paused between the two cherub statues, I'm sure everyone expected something horrible and terrible to happen. But nothing happened.
I didn't.
So when Zook stepped further into the area, the 4 cherub statues tipped their vases downward and released a deluge of water. At the same time, transparent walls shimmered into existence, cutting off all avenues of escape for poor Zook. One wall here, the other wall here. Again, one wall here, and the other one here. And there's water, and the cherubs are pouring water into this little 20 by 25 foot segment of the room. Sorry, 20 by 30.
And as we
Rekoj.
all remember, he's terrible at swimming.
This is why we perform perception arcana checks, people. Says Winter, not Rekoj. So Rekoj, seeing that his tiny companion is in need of trouble, runs towards him. Along the wall, because I don't feel like being stupid right now. I believe that's as far as he can go. So he's not quite at the wall, but he's screaming at the little guy to hang in there. Hang in there, little guy! He screams.
Autumn.
Right. I'm just gonna move up to the wall and do a perception check to see if there's anything that can be done to, well, remove or break or whatever the wall.
How, you mean a perception check to examine the wall?
Yes, to see if there's anything, anything that can be done to it to remove it or whatever. Did I confuse myself again?
I'm waiting for your roll.
Oh, okay. And I got a total of 22.
Autumn tries to examine this transparent wall that has shimmered into existence, but she can barely see it for one. And she does not see any way around it or any weakness. Think of a Star Trek force field.
Oh, so if we manage to figure out the frequency, then we can
Yes.
bypass.
Ooh, I have an idea, but I don't know if my character's smart enough to come up with this idea. How can I tell?
Why don't we roll? Why don't we hear the idea? Because I have a suspicion it's not as smart as you might think.
Okay, well, maybe you can move one of those dragon statues and face it towards this transparent wall and get it to blast it.
Okay, I'm
So
impressed.
you
I was
want to-
expecting something Star Trek.
You want to approach the statue that pushes you back.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you can get behind the statue, you wouldn't have too much of a problem, I imagine.
Moving
Right.
it
How much
100
smarter do I
square
need to be to
foot.
come up with that idea?
I don't think that... I mean, it's an idea. It's not like a sci-fi, futuristic, or modern-day technology-based idea, so anyone, could come up with the... even the most foolish people, which I'm not saying Autumn is, occasionally come up with strokes of brilliance or just ideas.
Alright, yeah, let's try that idea out. So maybe we should send Rekoj since he's the muscle.
It's like 100 square foot statue.
Rekoj has 18 hit points.
Well, Coltaine can heal him. See? Problem solved.
Oh, that's right. The YouTube guy told me that.
Yeah, I'm gonna regret standing here then.
Round 10, Wintier.
Wintier is thinking. Just to test the strength of this wall, he shoots a couple of arrows at it.
So from behind the giant statue, he's doing that?
Well, he can see under the statue's arm, right? Or does
Right, but the statue itself takes up these 4 squares. And then there's also the dais, which would provide some cover, but it's mainly this that would provide the most cover.
Sorry, if you were to stand here, could he then see the part there?
Oh, so he's shooting at an angle. I see. Yeah, if he stands there, it would be better.
So he shifts 1 square over and shoots the wall with a twin strike.
You should mark the wall as your quarry.
I can't because the statue would be a closer target. If it is a target.
It was a joke.
So he sets his phaser to... no.
Oh god.
He rolls a 17 and a 26. Considering it's a wall, I hope it's not that hard. The 17 is 11 damage, 26 is 3 damage.
Both arrows strike this invisible barrier which shimmers as the arrows strike it. They deflect off, breaking, but no other effect.
And he shouts, "I don't think we can smack it down."
Coltaine.
Does the wall like overlap the statues?
The wall is here.
I think it's between you and the statue. Like running along that line.
Right. Does the wall appear to reach all the way up to the ceiling?
Yes.
So no throwing a rope over, huh? Alright. No better ideas. Coltaine will use his meager arcana knowledge to examine the statue through the wall and see if there's any way of anything he can find out about it. Magic related, I guess. Maybe it also has some marks on it.
Okay, well the Arcana check is based on what he's already seen of them. If he wants to look for marks, that would be a perception.
Fine, perception then. But, I don't know.
Well, you roll the Arcana, so this would be based on what you presently have observed.
So Coltaine's gonna find out that they can pour water and make a wall, following in Winter's footsteps. Anyway, rolled Arcana, got a 19.
Coltaine can gather no further useful information. The water level is rising. It's at about 2 feet now, rising rapidly. That's like what? Reaching Soup up to the waist, or up to the throat, or over his head?
Can't he
I
swim?
think that's his waist.
Zook is up.
Alright, Zook is going to approach the statue between him and Coltaine and use perception to see if there's any weak point or like a lever. If he tugs its wing or something, it'll stop. Does that seem reasonable?
Yep.
In the spirit of John, I rolled a 3, so that's a total of 14.
Zook spots that the vases are inscribed with arcane symbols. Rekoj, still at 18 hit points.
So Rekoj shimmies over. And performs a... Oh, crap. I think I'll just stay in character here and have Rekoj smash on the wall. He says, "Elf isn't strong enough. Rekoj can smack down wall and save little person." He goes to stand a little, possibly a little too close to the dragon, and attacks the wall with a strength of stone attack. Rolls a 16 versus AC, hitting for 15 damage.
Bzzn. Rekoj strikes the invisible wall.
Would he get the 3 HP from that, or?
No. Because it is not a foe.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'd have to allow... Otherwise I'd have to allow Rekoj to gain hit points just by striking any random object.
Or even a fumble, I guess, might count.
He's gonna be on the lookout for killer vases.
But he makes, no, there's nothing worth doing. Okay.
Autumn.
Oh, I have no ideas of what... No. I don't think there's anything else we can do on this side. I think it's up to Zook. I think he's screwed.
And it seems Rekoj did move a little too close to that dragon statue.
Uh-oh.
As it blasts him with magical energy. That same magic energy that blasted Windtear away is now blasting Rekoj, and Autumn and Coltaine are in the path of away.
Yeah, I knew it. I have a bad feeling about this.
Rekoj is struck for 9 damage and is pushed. Let's get a dex check from Autumn and Coltaine. And Rekoj. Rekoj is down to 9 hit points.
How come Windtear didn't get a dex check when he got hit?
You'll find out in a minute.
Coltaine gets a total of 17.
I got a total of 10.
What did Rekoj get?
Rekoj got a 6.
So as Rekoj is flung back, he trips over Autumn. Autumn starts tumbling to the ground, but is still being pushed along by Rekoj, and the two of them barrel into Coltaine, who just manages to get out of the way.
Oh joy.
Autumn and Rekoj are prone, with Rekoj lying atop Autumn.
Rekoj squeezes Autumn's boob.
So I guess things worked out pretty good for Rekoj there. It's probably the closest you'll ever get to any action.
Rekoj says, "Squishy people are squishy."
Alright, round 11. Windtear.
I'm pretty sure he's crushing my lungs.
Windtear does nothing.
Coltaine.
Coltaine... Coltaine watches helplessly and does nothing.
Doesn't even shout words of encouragement.
The water level rises to about 3.5 feet. Zook, with water up to his chin.
Alright, how tall are these cherub statues?
Tall enough for him to reach? Or short enough for him to reach, rather?
Can he, like, knock over the vase or anything, or does he have to attack it?
They seem pretty heavy and solid, so knocking them over doesn't seem to be an option.
Wouldn't examining those markings maybe give you an idea as to what to do?
Like, as if he has the ability to erase arcane magic from a statue?
There might be some sort of thing you could do to counteract it.
So, Zook is going to shift into his wild shape and attack the vase to try and break it, using his grasping claws attack. So that's a 20 versus the reflex of the vase. Hopefully that hits. And 4 damage, because he rolled a 1 on his 1d8.
Zook claws at the vase, damaging it